Nicola, it's been a real pleasure and a privilege to be here today as part of Attuned in Practice. So I suppose I'd love to know, like, what are the highlights of today for you as you sit here? Everybody's left, and so we're sort of thinking about the day. What are the highlights that come to mind when you think back over the whole day?
Maeve, there have been so many highlights, but having had a wee bit of time to think about it, certainly for me, the fact that people have been able to get access to a tool which helps them process trauma in a creative way for both themselves and for the clients they work with is an absolute massive highlight, because they have something that they can take away now and be using.
Yeah.
And also alongside that, a real highlight for me was the amount of laughter in the room, the amount of joy and connection that you could just experience and feel. So people were enjoying the process. It wasn't arduous. It wasn't like a really heavy workload. They felt very much part of the day. They weren't being spoken at. It was a wonderful opportunity for people to take away a piece of training that's meaningful on an individual level, on a group level, and for the people that they work with.
Yeah, and it reminds me of part of the learning outcomes being having fun playing with words and learning to relieve, or being able to relieve rather than relive things that have happened to us. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. And then, so I suppose as we finish today, like, what are you taking away with you? I mean, lots of things I know you've mentioned, but the joy and the sense of camaraderie and the engagement, I think, are some of the things you've mentioned.
Yeah.
And if there was one message, maybe, sorry for interrupting, if
there
was one message you wanted sort of to distill it down to a little nugget, what might that be?
Would be hope.
Right, hope.
Hope. The importance of hope, and the fact that hope can be generated through co-creation and through the presence of people in the room connecting and playing and being playful.
Yeah.
And that they can take that hope with them to the work that they do with victims and survivors of the troubles and conflict, because often hope can be lost. And part of the reason people come into services is in the hope that things will get better. So being able to come into someone who has that hope and can provide it and can come alongside them is really, really important. And today, being able to use words to demonstrate that hope is really important. So it's the sense of hope, along with the fact there's this narrative tool through the use of words. I think we've mentioned already, words are precious.
Yes.
So it's that whole thing together. But the practical use of words, because they're precious, and hope.
Yeah.